Today I flubbed up by forgetting about a rotting turkey. I need to tell you all a story about why I smell like rotting meat. I have a big chest freezer in my basement, and last year when turkeys were cheap for Thanksgiving I picked up an extra one and put it in there. A few weeks ago I noticed a smell coming from that area, and it turns out my cat, or kid, who knows, had accidentally bumped and unplugged the freezer. In horror we turned it back on and got everything out and into the trash except the turkey, because we live in the country and didn't want to put it out until right before the trash came so it wouldn't attract coyotes. Yes, this is a legitimate concern at my house. I know, right? And then I forgot about the damn turkey, until yesterday when the smell had finally busted through the freezer, hitting my nostrils with something akin to the scent I envision a bag full of buttholes might have on a muggy summer day. I ran downstairs to grab the stupid thing. At this point even coyotes aren't eating it, and its putrid turkey juices had frozen it solid to the floor of the freezer. Since there's nothing else in there I unplugged it, assuming a few hours later I could plop that stink balloon of meat loose, but nope, still stuck. Always want to make a bad situation worse. I decided dumping a pot of hot water in there would loosen up the death grip the turkey corpse had on my freezer. This was a mistake. While it did not loosen the frozen seal, it did create some sort of filth brew, like the devil himself had made a turkey ooze brine in my basement freezer. Desperate, I huddled next to the meat sludge potpourri with a hairdryer, but all that did was cook the aforementioned death broth, sending its putrid aroma off in great billowing gasps up the stairs, through the air ducts and between the walls. It was about this time the neighbor kids stopped by, and their words, when my door opened, were "Oh, why does your house smell like that?" By now the smell had embedded itself not just in my house but in my hair, skin and probably my very soul. It's so deep in my nostrils that even fresh air smells of the death brine. By 8:30 p.m. the turkey had won the day. I left the freezer to thaw more, hoping to be able to wrench it loose the next day. Woke up early the next day and bought 2 Glade scented candles, 4 things of Odoban, 4 Breeze trash bags and a bag of rock salt. Why the rock salt? Because the stank brine actually froze overnight. Froze solid in my freezer that had been turned off with the lid wide open for 24 hours. How? And where was this tenacious freezing ability when the plug got knocked loose? I'm baffled and impressed. So now the turkey was stuck in its own personal stank brine iceberg, like some horrific twist on the sword in the stone. I poured salt in that bad boy to loosen the ice, waited. Also, fun fact, if you light clean linen scented candles to mask the smell of rotting meat, your house just ends up smelling like someone stuffed a decaying animal with a lot of dryer sheets. Several hours later the smell had become unbearable. I grabbed a shovel and plunged it into the icy hell broth, using it as a pry. In the process I dented the hell out of the freezer liner, and husband was mad. But I didn't care, since by this point I'm planning on throwing away not just the freezer but the whole damn house. The shovel didn't work and the festering went on. The smell escalated. I had an idea. A horrible, awful idea. Technically only the turkey wrapping was stuck. If I were to cut away the plastic and free the rotting bird from its frozen womb, I could end this. Before I could talk myself out of it, I took a deep breath and plunged my bare hands into the package, tugging on the foul carcass. My hands burned in the cold, and for one horrifying moment I thought I'd rip it in half. Foul yellow jelly coated my hands and the smell burned my eyes. I gave one final pull, powered by sheer adrenaline, and it came loose. I stuck the green, yellow and purpled lump of flesh in a bag and ran as fast as I could for the trash outside. It was done, but I will never feel clean again. Now I begin the slow and painful path toward being whoever I will be after this. Because seeing a thing like this, smelling a thing like this, it changes a person. I'm probably going to have to get a commemorative t-shirt made, or maybe a tattoo or something to mark this struggle. Is this why those guys in prison have tattoos of teardrops on their face? Probably. I'll figure it out. The real icing on this cake of meat stank though. I'm a vegetarian. I wouldn't have eaten the damn bird anyway, I just got it to feed my meat-loving family. Tofu would never do me dirty like this. TLDR, I forgot about a rotting turkey in my freezer and now my home is the bog of eternal stench from Labyrinth.